Hey, yeah, what's up? This disciple Marchello Currence back up in this. Yeah, this video basically I'm gonna be talking about America demonizing all their enemies. You know what I'm saying? America like to demonize all their enemies. That's what they do. They try to assassinate the character of their enemies. I mean, you could look at even Martin Luther King Jr. I mean, the FBI was following this man around for nothing. All he was doing was showing the injustices, the things that go on in this country. And they wanted to demonize him. Not only did they think to demonize him or did attempt to, they made efforts to search out this man's private life to demonize him. That was their whole purpose, to find something on him when he was not harming anyone in public and his message was positive. So if he's not harming anyone in public, his message is positive, he's not breaking the law, why would you want to search this man out? Why did they want to search this man out? Because he was an opposer of this country, although the opposition was good for the country. The opposition was good for the better good of the country. You know what I mean? It was good for the country. So, but he's a perfect example to show you that this country tries to demonize every person that opposes them. They try to demonize them and they taught even the racists here to be like that. That's what the black people do. That they demonize everybody who opposes them, even if they're right about black people, even if they're right about talking about the black on black crime, and even they could be absolutely right. But because you oppose us, you're a demon. Are we gonna try to find something on you? That's the American nature. That's what they taught even the blacks to be like that. The black, if you start talking about them, they will search you out and try to find something on you and go around you, just like Hoover did, and the FBI did Martin Luther King Jr. America teaches its people and citizens that anyone that opposes you, demonize them. Not try to find not see them for who they are and what they're actually doing. Try to demonize them. So, the games they play, here's the thing. The games they play is just, it shows that they really deserve the enemies they have. If you look throughout the society, if you look throughout the world, they've always taken the best of resources. Pay attention. They've always taken the best of resources. They've always opposed those who are their greatest adversaries. Russia is really, in my opinion, opposed really because it's the greatest strength next to America. So they demonize them. They demonize the Russians. They demonize everything they do. Russians can do no right in American eyes because they are the opposition. They are the ones that point out the flaws and the wrongs in America. So based on that alone, based on that, this is the problems that they have. This is the problems with they want to demonize that country, when in actuality, Russia is not a bad country. Not to me. I mean, I'm not saying their politics and getting into it, but the people that I have interacted with or that I see on Facebook that are my friends on Facebook, they're not out even talking all this. They're not talking hateful slurs. They're not speaking hateful slurs against America like that. You know what I'm saying? And to be real, to be honest with you, uh, President Putin was the best president when Donald Trump was in office. This is their beef too. You can't. You're only good as your president. You're only good. A country is only good as its leader because the leader pulls, brings the, The leader governs the country. The leader gives the laws out. You're only good as your leader. And when Donald Trump was in office, he was not the best leader in the world. So guess what that means? At the time that he was in office, someone else was on top, and I think it was President Putin. He was on top. Some would say Joe Biden is not the best leader in the world right now. So while you slipping and tripping and you know what I'm saying, thinking and looking around, you're not you're making mistakes. You're not, as far as your leadership. He's not the greatest in the world. You're to blame for a lot of things. And, you know, someone else is on top. You can debate, but ain't no way in the world you can sit up here and tell me President Biden alone, not talking about the power he can swing around. Not talking about the government he can swing across the world. Him alone, is he the best president, the best leader in the world right now? Donald Trump alone, was he the best leader? Not the power he got, not all the stuff, the powers that he have, all the equipment that he come with being the president. Him, himself, his intellectual value, his heart value, his soul value, all the values of him. Does that equate the best leader in the world? Donald Trump? I'm not talking about what he's over. I'm talking about him as a person, him as a leader intellectually. All right, then. So then that means someone else was the leader, the greatest leader. That means some other country, whether you can debate who it was, but whoever was runner up was the leader when Donald Trump was in office, especially when COVID came. COVID came, he responded late. He definitely lost. Biden has already been messing up. 20 years of progress down the drain, and that's the best president. 20 years of progress in Afghanistan, and Joe Biden is the best president in the world. A general in the military sent a drone attack, gave the orders or whatever. It was responsible for killing 7 children and 3 adults. That's the best military in the world? I ain't talking about the power they swing around. I ain't talking about that. I'm talking about as far as their intellectual value, their human capabilities, are they the best? That's what I'm talking about. I ain't talking about the power they can swing around. I ain't talking about the power that's been generated over decades and decades that they just come in and take for granted. I'm not talking about that. You take it for granted for the foolish mistakes you make. That's how you take it for granted. If you're wondering. Okay, so in my opinion, as far as the humans go, outside the system, we don't have the greatest military. We don't have the greatest leader. They have proven this themselves. Besides my opinions, look what's going on. And before this administration, look at the other administration. Is this just me being an enemy? Or is it me looking at the facts and the truth? Let's keep it real. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 100. Is it me looking at the obvious, or is it me opposing? Because to look at the obvious is to agree with me. They're not the greatest. President Biden is not the greatest no more. He's not the greatest. I mean, let me put it this way. American leadership is not the greatest no more. America, because of the leaders that they have. Okay? So no matter how, you have to snap yourself to. Yeah, you might have been the greatest. You might have had some very skillful, valuable people intellectually and all those things back in the day. But right now, you're not that. You're not that. You're not what you used to be. And I would even dare to say you're not even what you used to be as far as a community. That goes for the black people. Black people ain't what they used to be back in the civil rights time. They were fighting for rights. Martin Luther King Jr. time, they were fighting for rights. They were out fighting against the powers that be. They were fighting against the system, and then somewhere they just stopped fighting against the system. And I mean, this is everyday people. I ain't even talking about it. Not even to mention the leaders. Now look at them, killing each other. You ain't fighting for nothing, but you ain't fighting for no rights no more. As far as the black community, you fighting against each other. So you ain't what you used to be, and you ain't even realized. You haven't even woke up and to realize it. You're not what you used to be. You may have been a very powerful force in America at one time. Not no more. You killing each other too much. And I don't care how many entertainers are rich, they are joining the agendas of America. That's what they're doing. The bulk of them are. The bulk of them are joining the agenda of America. How you still in the ghetto and all these black people got money? How come there are no alternative neighborhoods besides the ghetto? How come they haven't taken land on the side of highways and made good communities for black people? All these woods out here. Your government and the black community has never thought to take all these woods and make a good community for black people. They ain't done that. How come it takes me to think about that? That's what I'm saying. And these are the people you respect. That part. So America demonizes its opposition and enemies. And everybody can't be a demon. I just pointed out the facts. How does that make me a demon? How can you really demonize a person that's telling you the truth? What you want me to do? Hide it? Deny it? Ignore it? That makes me an ally? I mean, no. You're getting away from common sense. That's what you're doing. You're getting away from common sense. That's what you're doing. You're getting away from common sense. Because for us to say, there's even in a family, you have to complain, you have to talk about the problems. Even in a marriage, you have to talk about the problems. Everywhere in any institution or functioning of anything that deals with human beings, you have to talk about the issues. But when it comes to talking about America, now we can't talk about that. But you go home and you argue and talk about everything in your family. Stuff don't go right, you start talking, you barking at everybody. But you don't want nobody barking at your country. You done lost your mind. You have mentally ascended to a place of superiority you don't really even belong. You're mentally there. That's why I said you mentally ascended. You didn't physically ascend it. You didn't tangibly ascend. You mentally ascended to a place of superiority in America. That's the community and the government that you don't even belong. What makes you so special that you're supposed to live? Why do you supposed to live? Life isn't promised. So what makes you so important that you can do evil and do wrong in the world and do wrong from your community, and you think you're just supposed to live at all costs? No. That's your arrogance. That's your American arrogance. You think you're supposed to just live. You supposed to just live, huh? You supposed to just live. You can't tell me why you supposed to just live. You just supposed to live because you American. You supposed to just live. You can't say you got to fight because you're fighting in the wrong direction. So it can't be because of your fight. What's your identity? I mean, because your identity, you supposed to survive? You don't even have the power to survive this. So you can't say, well, because I'm American, I'm going to survive. Americans are killing each other. So you just define your survival by the fact that you're American, and you think that's the basis of why you should survive, but yet Americans are killing each other. So how is that the basis? So how does you trumpeting off that you're American persuade anyone that that's how you're going to survive when Americans are killing Americans? I'm an American. Have you looked at Americans lately? Have you looked at Americans lately? I ain't talking about 1985. Have you looked at Americans lately? They're killing each other at an alarming rate, a rate that you would like to ignore. Yeah, you want to ignore that. You want to ignore it. You want to ignore that. Yeah, you want to ignore that. It's been time for somebody like me. It's been time. It's been time. Because the black community sitting around like they on a higher level of superiority than they really are. The government is sitting around acting like they on a higher level of superiority than they really are. The military is now acting like they on a higher level of superiority than they really are. When the military first came out, they were swinging back and forth. When they first talked about the attack that they did, come to find out, they killed 7 children and 3 people. So they were operating, acting like they had it all together, had it this, that, and the third. And even beyond that example, we know that the American community, American government, military, all walk around with this superiority complex. This arrogance, and you call it American. That's what you call it. I call it pride goes before destruction. That's what I call it. Because, okay, I could scratch that example as far as the military. Okay, even though they did have confidence, like they did the right thing. I mean, they still have that American complex, that superiority complex. And that's my personal opinion. I could rattle off information. I could tell you how the military is killing their own. Yeah, people end up killed on army on military bases lately. We could talk about that. We could just talk about how it's fallen. You want to talk about that? Okay. Let's just talk about that. The bottom line is the leadership is falling, the community is falling, the military is falling. And don't forget, drum roll, the police. The police, the institution of policing is done. Put a fork in it. It is done. It's totally cooked. You ain't got to worry about food poisoning from that. That is a totally cooked piece of meat there, buddy. All the killing they've been doing, and then on top of that, having sex with children, police getting caught. Yeah, in 2015 and 2016, 2 NYPD cops were caught having a year-long sexual affair with a 15-year-old girl. In Louisiana, a black cop came to a woman's door and persuaded her to perform a sex act on her infant child. Okay? Yeah, I know it's hard to hear this. But that means that's done away with. To me, that's how you know the empire's fallen. How can they face you? How can they enforce anything with a straight face after that? But you know what? These police were going on strikes and all that when other stuff happened to them. But you see how quiet they was? You don't even know that happened. They knew it happened. Oh, they know about all police news. Trust me. They know about all of it. Did you see them protesting? Did you see them bowing a knee, showing some type of remorse for what their counterparts did? No, you did not. You did not see any of that. They swept it right under the rug like America likes to do. Okay? So the bottom line is military, police, government, and community are are not what they are supposed to be. The level that they think that they are on, they're not on. So that's still ascending to a level of of being super and being superior, and you're not on that superior level. Look at the mistakes the military made. You are trained to make no mistakes like that. That's a drone attack. You know, that's not military fighting on the battlefield. So the bottom line is America is not on the levels they're on. They're claiming to be on. Okay? They're not. They're not on those levels. And they want to demonize people like me who points it out. Yeah. Instead of making yourself better, instead of trying to become better, which some will say that's what we think. Some will say that's how the forefathers would have thought. Instead of becoming better, you're sitting back demonizing, making monsters out of people that's telling you the truth. Yeah. You've always done that. That's always been your nature. But you can't fool me. That's what I'm letting you know. I'm speaking for me. You can't demonize me. I'm telling you the truth about the black community, about the American community as a whole, and everything in between. I'm telling you about all of the facts and the truth, and that paints the perfect. It is the factual picture that I'm painting. I'm not changing any narratives. I'm giving you facts from facts. I'm giving you facts. I can give you news clips. Everything I'm saying is so factual, I can give you news clips. That part. Yeah, this ain't no matter of opinion. This is factual stuff I'm telling you. And you're sitting up acting like, oh, he's so against America. Because I'm telling you the facts? Because I'm telling you the actual facts that is right on TV, that is right in news clips, that is right on the news, that the anchor people on the news are telling you the same thing CNN is telling you and Fox News is telling you. I'm telling you the same thing, but I'm the enemy. But I'm demon. I'm some monster. No. It's time out for that. From the black community, from YouTube, from American community, from the government, from the military, all of y'all. Y'all all messing up. Y'all all act like y'all going crazy. That's the truth. You can come, like I said, do what you usually do. You can come trying to find fault in me, but I'm not making the same mistakes you are. And I'm not making the mistakes that you think I'm making. Yeah, let's talk about it. I'm not making the mistakes you think. You can come looking for me. You can come, but I ain't making the news. Why black people are making the news constantly? Why the government is making the news constantly? Why the military is making the news constantly? Why the police are making the news constantly? I'm not making the news. Yeah, you're making the news and then get mad when somebody talk about the news that they've been informed of. I didn't make it up. I didn't go put on a safari hat and go find out what the military did. I didn't put on a safari hat and go find out what Joe Biden did, how he took 20 years of progress and put it down the garbage disposal. Yeah, you told me this information and you're mad because I bring it up. You mad because I'm telling people about it. And it's enough information going in this direction to conclude the fall of America. All the information is going in this direction. This ain't hit and miss. This is hitting all the time. The same target. Falling here, falling there, falling everywhere. And you get mad when someone forms an opinion that America is no longer what it used to be. You get mad when people form an opinion that the black community ain't what it used to be. And all you see is shooting and killing all the time on the news. You know why the black community ain't talking about it? Because they're scared of getting rejected by each other. They're scared of being called a sellout and an Uncle Tom. Yeah, don't call us an Uncle Tom. You can call me an Uncle Tom. You can call me that. You can call me that all day. But what's worse, a Uncle Tom or a gangbanger killing your children? You tell me which worse. You tell me who gonna get into heaven. A gangbanger killing children that didn't repent, or Uncle Tom that just separates from black people. When, especially now, I mean, Uncle Tom today would kind of be a person that probably separate and speak the truth by definition. But of course, Uncle Tom can't make it into heaven with hate in his heart and stuff like that. But what people have defined as an Uncle Tom, really, is that an Uncle Tom? Is that really a sellout? Or is that a person speaking the truth and decide to separate from foolishness? Yeah. Because a lot of y'all can't find, you grown people and can't find your identity with no one else but African Americans. You a grown person in America. You can't find your identity with no one else. You that scared to lose identity, lose unity with black people? You that scared? You that scared to be out in the world on your own? Dang, man, I thought you was a warrior. I could stand out here in the world on my own without any of these communities. Yeah, so stop demonizing people. Stop demonizing everybody, because the truth is, the facts is, people are telling you the truth. Everything is going on at an alarming high, and there's going to be more and more people that you label this or that or the third. You're going to label them all kind of stuff. But the truth is, you're demonizing them for telling you the facts and truths. You are society.